Yeah, I like red letters over trap beats, the Fixx. Yeah, music blasting for the black sheep. Yeah, serious. They like how you build and still breaking all their barriers. Ooh, 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 ooh. Tell them turn me up. DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. This one for the hustlers. This one for the CEOs that used to be the customers. Knew it was gonna be big when winning season seemed impossible. Woo!
Welcome back, DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. You tap back into the Fixx, your source for faith-infused hip-hop, R&B, and poetry. I know what time it is. It's time for our spiritual detox. And Dice, we got one. Let's talk about it. One of the hottest shows on right now, series on right now,
The
Kingdom
hottest.
Business.
Come on now.
We are in the second season. And when I tell you, we are excited to have one of the key players in this series. And I promise you, without his role, it ain't even as saucy as it's supposed to be, and I'm a little jealous because I know he's just acting, but he got he's in a love triangle with two beautiful women, and I know every real man gonna keep it a buck. Would love to be in that situation. Yeah, y'all gonna act like y'all so kingdom. Listen, y'all don't act like y'all always been saved and like, wow, I got left and right looking fine and want me too.
Oh, mess.
My goodness.
Mess.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Really won't he? Really won't he?
Help me welcome in a super talent. Listen, he do it all, man. He's an actor, but he's also an artist, a musician. Listen, I seen him with a little photography, videography bag too as well. He do a little bit of everything. Yeah. Listen, he ain't turning down no check, Dice. He ain't turning down no check. Cut the check. Yeah. Hey, listen, y'all know him as Taj on Kingdom Business too, but yes, the super talented Chaundre Hall-Broomfield is joining us. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Man, listen, everything is beautiful. We definitely are excited to have you on, and I'm serious, man. You act your butt off in this series, man. This series is off the hook. Season 2 starts off. You left in season 1. You start off season 2, and I'm serious. So talk about this love triangle, man. For those who may have never seen and need to get caught up on speed on what they need to tune into tonight. Talk about the love triangle that you have between your fiance Essence and the one and only Rebel.
Yeah, so I mean, you start off with Taz dating Essence, who's a pop star, international pop star, and he's a gospel producer for the most successful gospel label in the world. And he finds this singer who we don't know at the time is a stripper, but he
Oh,
hears her sing in a
what?
way that he hears an anointing on her voice, and he says that her talent and her God-given talent is undeniable. And he says to his mother, who runs the gospel label, hey, you need to sign her because her talent is undeniable. And her mom doesn't want to, but in getting to know her and trying to fight for her and her career, he ends up falling for her a little bit while he's in a relationship with Essence. So he's trying to navigate this real, authentic relationship with this new girl, with this relationship with somebody that he has feelings for, but may not be able to say, I love you to.
Yeah, we don't really care for. We don't like Essence. I mean, we love her because we
What? What?
we watch because of the drama. Is what I'm saying. Like we're just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. We want you to be with Rep. We already know. We know
But,
what it is, but it's
but
like
listen, though, I'm
this
telling
is.
you,
Tell me.
and listen, Essence and Tars, there's love there, but you know the difference between I love somebody and I'm in love with you. You know what I mean? Like there's something real that's happening between Essence and Taj, and I love that this season they're fighting for that relationship. They're fighting for that love. It's not that he doesn't care about her. It's just that it's not the same thing. You know what I mean?
This is the most.
And people say,
Go ahead.
yeah, no, you go, you got it.
It's just the most beautiful chaotic love triangle on the planet right now. And so I mean that's why we're like drawn to. I mean because it's very real actually. I mean this might be one of the realest written shows concerning gospel entertainment and really what life looks like. So it's just this yeah, it's addicting. We're addicted. We're here for it. But we be watching for you too, though, bro. Don't get it twisted. Like we in here to see what this turns out. What you gonna do with the business? Like what you gonna do? Like we're in it for your storyline as well. But go ahead.
Let me tell you, the second season. I love the fact that they're making you fight for Essence and Taj, and because you know it's undeniable what's between Rebel in Taj. It's undeniable. So if we just gave it to you real easy, it wouldn't be as satisfactory. You know what I mean? So I'm excited.
Sorry to interrupt you. Have you ever been in a relationship like the one your character actually plays?
Um, Thankfully, I don't think so. I don't think so. I try to be clean about my personal relationships. Try to be very decisive about who I want to be with, and make sure that whoever I decide to be with, fulfills all the checks. Because I ain't got time for all the three-way drama. Because Ty, I'm sweating for Ty. I'm sweating for Ty. For real, for real.
That's good. Come on and talk about this unique relationship between, you and Danita, who does a phenomenal job too as well. Like you took a little career shift. Like, come on, you went and you started working for the label you ain't supposed to work for. So I would just know if listen. I know my mama looking down from heaven, so I would just know like, oh my Lord, I would be scared walking in that thing. I guess my mama would be in the parking like, oh, you showing up here to work, huh? Really? Talk about that, man.
Listen, listen. Well, I mean, what is it to like work for your mother? One, and then two, work for your mother who's a diva. Three, work for your mother who's like an international superstar in her own right. You know what I mean? So I think he grew up being surrounded by excellence, but also was surrounded by ego. You know what I mean? So I think that working for his mother was where he got to build his talent, where he got to build his craft. But he also saw the ego. He also saw the facade that she would put up. And I think that he worked actively in his personal life to not be like his mother in the personal regard. In the talent regard, in the music regard, absolutely. He wanted to reflect everything that his mother stood for. And I think that by the time that she fires him in the first season, he's honestly like, that hurts because you're my mom. But as a business move, I think that I thrive elsewhere. I think I thrive with Caesar over at Redeeming Records because what he stands for is more pure. What he stands for is exactly what he's fighting for with Rebel. That talent and an anointing is more important than what we label people as based off of their job occupation, based off of what they look like, based off of what they may sound like. You know what I mean? Um, I think that he's happier over at Redeeming.
Have you ever had any moments where you were like, this is tough acting alongside a Yolanda Adams, a Michael Beach, a Michael J, you name it, Loretta Devine. I mean, any of these like people that you've been watching on screen for a while or going to their concerts, and they're just like these amazing individuals.
Listen, first of all, it's a dream come true to be working with people that I've listened to and admired since I can't even remember how young, you know what I mean? And I think working with my mom, Yolanda Adams, uh, she is so kind and so generous and warm that whatever shock I thought I was gonna have when I showed up to set, she washed it all away. For real, for real. Like she was so genuine that I felt like I had the space enough to do my work. Michael Beach and Michael Jai. Michael Jai is like a big bro. People look at him and they think, oh, he's this intimidating character. He's this intimidating energy. And really, he's the most fun guy on set. He's always cracking jokes. He's always sharing wisdom and just making the space real comfortable. Michael Beach definitely was the one person I would show up on set with, and I'd be like, okay, no, I got to show up for Michael Beach. I got to show up for Michael Beach because there's a serious actorness to him that I always feel like I need to rise to. So he would be the only person I would forget lines with. He'd be the only person I'd be like, "Can I get another take with?" Because I wanted to make sure that I was at the same. And I'm not because I'm younger. He's an OG. I would always want to make sure that I'm at the same level of focus as he was. You know what I mean? Um, uh, Kirk was a. That's. I mean, I can't even. You know what I mean? Kirk. You know what I mean? That's just what it is.
Right. 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 Listen, Yeah, what else could you say? I mean, all-star cast, and I just wanted to insert. I didn't want to cut you off, but there is a difference between Michael Beach and Michael J. Listen, Michael J. can be funny and be humorous because he can actually whoop everybody butt on the scene. Everybody knows he don't have no stunt doubles in his action movies. He actually do these kicks. While you standing still, he'll kick you in your mouth, and you can't even throw a punch. That ain't fair. So let's be very clear.
Boy, you know.
Absolutely. Listen, man, for the people who maybe don't know, man, share a little bit of your faith journey with the people, man. Maybe how you developed your own personal relationship with Christ and how that shaped and formed this role that you're playing.
Well, I grew up a church boy. I'm Seventh Day Adventist Christian, and so grew up watching my mother direct the youth choir, watching my mother direct the ladies choir, and went to church on Fridays for rehearsal, went to church on Sabbath, on Saturdays, went to children's choir rehearsal on Sundays, had worship with my family during the week. You know what I mean? So I definitely have a similar foundation in faith as Taj. And when I got this audition, it was almost like it was too good to be true. It was like, this is a musician, a church musician, a church boy. His mother is a musician and watched his mother growing up. And I think that everything is so similar to me in so many ways, besides the love triangle. Um, you know, um, but in terms of faith, and I think that the foundation that my family has set for me is something that I'm actually fully personally stepping into over the last 3 years. I think a lot of people get it wrong that growing up in the church gives you everything that you need. It gives you everything that you need in terms of theoretically, but in terms of personal relationship, you don't really start seeking it until you need it. And it wasn't until like 2020 started happening that needed to seek God to be, um, to have that relationship with Him. And I think Taj is going through something similar, where all his life he had this foundation, and he understood theoretically what it meant. But coming into this new situation where he has pressures of being fired by his mother, his dad wanted to, you know, you know, um, all of these different pressures we're going to see Tyler start seeking God in a way where he's like, God, you've always theoretically been there for me. Why can't I feel you right now? Why don't I see you working right now? So I'm excited for wherever that leads Taj, and we'll see a little bit more of that tonight in tonight's episode.
Listen, the super talented Chaundre Hall-Broomfield is on with us. We got to go to a quick break. We coming right back with more. Keep it locked. You tune into the Fixx.
And the Fixx is in.
Holy Culture Radio. We're not just background noise. We play the music that inspires you, because every song has a story. Christian hip hop and R&B music and talk on Siriusxm channel 154, 24 hours a day. Holy Culture Radio is changing the game. Discussions about faith, arts, vocation, and education. We talk about the real issues that affect our communities and work together to find solutions. Join the discussion at holyculture.net and be heard.
Welcome back. DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. Tap back into the Fixx. Listen, we still got the one and only Chaundre on with us from Kingdom Business. And come on and talk about it, man. We seen some things happen in this episode last week that we were not expecting. One, it seems that, let's be very clear, your mom, Danita, Yolanda Adams, listen, she got her memory back. It seemed like she's telling all the little secrets and all the little stories. So talk about your role and just how, you continue to build this relationship with your mom. I feel like it's an ongoing thing that you kind of come back. And you stood up to as well. A shout out to you stood up to your dad too as well. It was a scene where you said, wait a minute, Pops, I love you, but this ain't right now.
Because I mean, what is it to have parents that you see messing up, and you stepping into your own adulthood, you stepping into your own responsibilities, and you don't have those figures to model yourself after? You know what I mean? So to see his mom doing things that are not morally right, that are not of God, and to know that she has a platform that's supposed to be about that, you know what I mean? I think that it makes him one. have to rely on himself and his sister more, and to depend on that relationship. And he's also a family man. So while he's disappointed in his parents, he's not going to abandon them. So the only other option is to call them out on their ish, you know? It's to call them out for what he sees them doing, and to say, if you're a pastor, if you're a woman of God, if you're a gospel artist, you need to be living your life in ways that when people look at you, they can say, wow, okay, that's where I need to go. That's the direction I need to go in, you know? And I think that he only stands up to his because he wants not only people to see them for who they present themselves to be, but because he understands that for the entire joy that he wants in his family, he has to be the voice of reason. He has to be the one to speak out because nobody else is. CJ's too quiet and shy, and his grandmother is another version of his mother. You know, he can't depend on anybody else, so he feels he has to be the one to step up.
Listen, if Loretta Devine didn't play that role, Lord help me. Listen, you was nice by saying another role of his mother. Listen, she made sure listen. I am the elder. Watch your mouth. She watch your mouth.
And she showed up just like that too. I said, I feel like you've been part of this show since the first season. You just showed up and said, okay, grandma's here. It was so incredible to watch her work. And I mean, she's OG. It's so much to learn from. So much to learn from.
I was going to say, have you had any problems dealing with your fans' responses? I mean, just for playing the role that you're playing, it's a very attractive role. So, as far as that inbox and them DMs and the wild fans on the streets, like, have you had any?
Oh no, no. Everybody is very respectful. It's an interesting dichotomy because this is a faith-based show. And so whoever decides to reach out, they'll always be like, "I love your work. I love the message of the show." And then also, you're just so, you know what I mean. So it's always funny to me the dichotomy that comes along with playing this role. It's cool. It's cool for sure.
Listen, talk a little bit more about the unique relationship you have with Caesar, and Caesar kind of pushing your limits as a producer, working with Rebel, and even the scene where you guys go into the prison and you kind of come alive. It's like, no, I sing, I produce, I do it all. Like, speak to that relationship and how, you'll be able to do that and showcase who you are in a different element.
It's so funny. Taj is so much like me in so many different ways. I feel like I grew up having talent or having talents that I was afraid of, imposter syndrome almost, where I said, oh, I think that I can do this, but I don't think that other people will think that I can. And so I stopped myself and I played in my own bubble that was safe. And it took people speaking into me that I have something worth sharing, that I started to gain a confidence that allowed me to share my gifts. And I think Caesar's doing just that, where he sees something in me that I don't necessarily see in myself. And I think that's also part of the reason, maybe even subconsciously, that Taj likes it at Redeeming, because his mother would never push him outside of his bubble. His mother wants him to just be her producer because he's good at that. She knows that. She doesn't want to take any risk on that. But at Redeeming, he knows that he's going to be surrounded by people who say, yeah, that and more. Yeah, okay, that and more. You know what I mean? So I think that him stepping out of his bubble is very familiar to me, and we're only going to see more of him. And I think that he has a lot to share that he didn't even know he had to share, for sure, for sure.
Come on, talk about it, man. This episode tonight gonna be a little saucy. Listen, I've already seen Blessing Offer will be playing in this episode tonight. So yeah, don't give it all away, but give them a little snippet. What can the people expect tonight?
I mean, you're gonna hear some music. It's gonna be a good episode of music. Blessing Offer is incredible. He showed up to set. He said, "This is my first TV thing, and I'm so nervous." And then he hopped up on the piano, and I said he must have been here in the TV game for the last decade or something. I don't know, because he was a natural. I mean, and he actually made me feel more comfortable for the same reason I was just saying about with Taj. The first season you don't hear Ty sing a lot. And this season, the executive producers told me ahead of time, we're gonna make you sing. So just be aware, be prepared. And coming into that scene with Blessing and Ty singing with him was so reflective of where I am in my journey as well. You're gonna hear some good music. You're gonna see some more Rebel and Taj. You're gonna see some more Essence and Taj. Uh, it's gonna be drama for sure, but also good music.
It's a great show, man. And shout out to Blessings. We did get a chance to meet him at the Devil. We were at the Doves, and so I'm definitely excited about seeing you and him together, man. So let's get into this music. Let's get into this music. Your music. So I know that you have music on the soundtrack, but what actually are you working on now, if you can say?
Well, I've been producing and making my own music since maybe 2016, and my side bag while I was doing other gigs, I did Hamilton on the road. I did the Broadway musical Hamilton. I toured with them for about a year and a half. And when I left Hamilton, I was just producing. That was my side bag. That was what I did creatively because unfortunately, as an actor, you kind of have to wait to get permission from other places to do your work. But as a musician, you can just pull up your piano, pull up your computer, produce whatever you need to do on your own time. And so, um, I was working on an EP, and luckily I booked Kingdom Business, so that kind of put a pause on my own individual music. But after the first season, I'm working on an EP right now, and I don't know what even genre to call it. I'm in my own little zone. I don't know if it's R&B, soul singer songwriter. I don't know what it is, but I tend to write music that speaks to people's situations and may not necessarily be. The subject matter may not be faith, um, but that's always the foundation, right? Just trying to spread joy, spread love, and so the next EP that I'm gonna release, probably early next year, is called Love Letters, which is love letters to people, us as a society. I think we need more love right now. We need more lifting up. We need more music that just reminds the masses um, of love and joy and staying on our feet. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited about that.
Can we expect any collaborations? Any collaborations on that project? Because listen, you can reach out to anybody now. Yeah. Or you can have Auntie Yolanda or Uncle Kurt call somebody for you.
Listen, I think, listen, I think they too busy. I think they too busy for me right now. No, but I got some people. I definitely got some people, and I don't want to give it away right now. But I think it's going to be a really dope project. Short project, like 4 or 5 songs, and um, and it's going to be powerful. I'm praying that it's powerful and that people are touched by it, resonate with it, just receive the message for sure.
Last thing we're gonna get you out of here. What do you say to the critics? This series, Kingdom Business, is
Critics.
you
We better not
listen.
have critics.
You
This is the
always
hottest.
nice.
This is
You
the
always
hottest.
got critics. You know that. You know that.
There are millions of people are on even YouTube. They've created their own channel for the actual show, just to talk about the show. Like that's the impact.
I'm with you. But then you still got some church folk. You still got some church dice. Don't act like we still ain't got some church folks that say this pushes the envelope too much. It's too edgy. Some of the scenes are too much. Where's the balance between spiritual eyes? Come on now. Don't act like we don't hear these things. What would you say to the critics and tell them, listen, they still need to tune in to this and why?
Well, I think that one, you're not gonna please everybody. That's just something that any artist needs to know, just to stay sane. But two, I think that anybody who rejects Kingdom Business needs to just open themselves to the possibility that what we're talking about in our show is what happens in the world. And if you want to reach more people, you have to be relatable, right? So any critic that says, "Oh, you're pushing the envelope too far," I think they have to understand that we're talking about their family members, we're talking about their coworkers, their friends, their parents, and if they can learn to accept that what we're talking about is real, then I think that there will be a compassion and empathy that is opened up for them to. Because at the end of the day, if we telling stories and people aren't changed or challenged by it, then we're not doing the right thing, in my opinion. If you're not feeling a little uncomfortable by what you're watching because it's that true, then it's not doing the job it needs to be doing. You know, so that's what I have to say about the critics. You like it or you don't, but also don't knock it just because it's real.
That's good. That's good. Listen, we appreciate you, man. We definitely got to get you back on, man, and talk about some more dope stuff. Tell the people how they can follow you as well as how they can follow Kingdom Business and where to tune in tonight to watch Kingdom Business.
Yes, sir. You can watch Kingdom Business tonight at on streaming services BET Plus. And you can find me on Instagram, DREHALLB, Dre Hall B, and official Kingdom Business on Instagram. I'm really grateful. Thank y'all so much for having me. For real, for real.
Show. Keep it locked. You tune into the Fixx.
And the Fixx is in.